Ladies and gentlemen, social of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, strong style, cinephile. Samaritan, an Amazon Prime exclusive that's going to hit the streaming service here very, very shortly in August. And yeah, let's geek about it for a scant few minutes because it is Sylvester Stallone playing a superhero. This movie has a couple things going for it. Number one, Sylvester Stallone plays the Samaritan, who in this film was a superhero, protected the city, and he's been dead for 25 years. People think he's dead. He's really just been, he just gave it up. Just gave it all up. Gave up the life. I imagine some tragedy. There's, he just had the feeling, the tone, the kind of, he carried himself with a lot of weight in this, that clearly something tragic happened that made him hang up the suit. We see a shot in the trailer where he's looking at a newspaper story about a family that was struck by fire. So I'm wondering, was that his loved ones that maybe a supervillain found out who he was and struck back at them, you know, killed them to get to him, and that's why he gave it up? Or maybe he just tried to save this family and didn't succeed, thus the family died, public turned against him, and then he, you know, decided to hang it up because of that. There's so many ways that they can go with, you know, forced early retirement for a superhero. It just remains to be seen how it plays out. He gave off a very, I'm going to say it, and you guys know how much I hate these terms, but gritty. It had like a grittiness to it, like a dirtiness to the feel of it. So I feel it's going to have that sort of feel like an Unbreakable or a Logan, where it's just somebody who is just old and tired and just kind of doesn't want to be bothered with this superhero antics and stuff, but something pulls him in, and surprise to no one, it's a little kid who's going to forge a bond with Sylvester Stallone. His character, him and his mother are going to be threatened by the whatever gang is threatening the city. That's going to draw Sylvester Stallone back in. I mean, we know how this movie's going to go. We know the formula, we know the familiar plot beats. We can kind of guess how this movie's going to go, especially how the trailer was laid out, because it was one of those trailers that kind of laid exactly the movie out according to the acts, which is kind of annoying, but I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is with trailers these days. That's what they do, so we accept it. But you can kind of guess how things are going to go. It's just a question of execution. Did they stick the landing? Remains to be seen if they do in this, but I have faith in, because I'm a sucker for Sylvester Stallone in a lot of his movies. Not all of them, but a lot of his movies. Sylvester Stallone playing a superhero, some good action. I'm a sucker for all that, so of course I will check it out. Remains to be seen if other people do. Curious to see the viewership on this. Is it just a one and done project, or is this another franchise sort of thing? The fact that he's like 76 and still doing stuff like this, it would kind of be corny if it wasn't Sylvester Stallone, because there's an amount of experience and gravitas and just built-in just love from the fan base that he goes into this movie with, that I think is going to get a lot of people checking it out. Again, will they stick the landing on this movie? Remains to be seen. Who the big bad is remains to be seen. His arch nemesis going to come out of the woodwork, because his arch nemesis will be older too. Somebody's got to get superpowers in this gang that's threatening the city, because he's got super strength and all that kind of stuff. So, got to be able to stand toe-to-toe to him and have like a good action sequence. I mean, you can't just have him just throwing, non-powered people around all willy-nilly. That would just be boring. He's got to have somebody to use that massive like hammer against it. His suit in this kind of is like a mix of like steel and kind of Iron Man-ish, kind of steel-ish, like Shaquille O'Neal steel-ish, especially with like the sledgehammer. So I'm curious to kind of see. I imagine we're going to get some flashbacks to his younger days. Will he put it on again as the older version of him? We'll probably see him suit up in it. He'll bust into wherever the final scene is going to take place at. He'll have the helmet on. He'll either encounter the final boss, if you will, and the helmet will get knocked off, or he will stand face to face with the final boss and he will willingly take it off, or he shows up just suit and no helmet, because we got to see the moneymaker. So, like I said, we've seen this type of stuff before. We've seen how this movie's going to go. It's just a question whether they stick the landing on it. I'm curious enough to check it out. I dug the trailer, and I'm just waiting for the movie to come out and see what happens. But anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Scattered as they often are, but I guess that's what I think. Let me know in the comments below. Follow my social media. It's going to be there. It's going to be here. Until next time, let us geek.